everyone, and welcome to Hartfield Park, also known as the Bullpen, the home of the Kalamunda Rugby Club, one of the great clubs of WA, fielding teams from senior men and women all the way down through the juniors. Today they play host to the Roo Dogs of Wanneroo in a battle between two teams who have shown so much potential this year but just failed to deliver on it. It's round 15 in the Fortescue Premier Grade competition, and it's NAIDOC round, where we celebrate and learn about our First Nations cultures and histories. My name is Heath Testman, and joining me today in the commentary this afternoon is ex-Western Force and Springbok fly half Peter Grant, as well as Dwayne Nestor as well. And Dwayne, it's round 7. That was the last time we saw Kalamunda lose it at the death to Associates in a wildly entertaining game. Can we expect their style of play to have changed today?
No, I think Paul King has he's stuck to his guns in terms of wanting to use the width of the field. The boys love to spread it wide, go left to right, and they want to basically drag teams around the field. And when they're on and they do it well, it pays off a big time. But we'll see what happens this afternoon. But hopefully, with the conditions like that, it'll be very exciting.
Yes, and as you can see through the vision, both teams have just run onto the field, and we're just about to go through our Welcome to Country, which is going to be led by Jaden Boundary, as well as the smoking ceremony by the dancing troupe Dance Nyalak Nidja.
Kaya! Hey, you be quiet. Get everyone say Kaya! Kaya! That's a bit better. But you're too quiet. Come on, let's get a bit louder. Kaya! That's better. Using this language of the land is very important. So I'm going to welcome you here to my country, where I have an ancestral connection to. So Kaya Kaya, ngan nyunga kura marley, ngan bibuman maman, ngan wajak balarang nyunga we bari ma yamaji. Kaya wa. Ngan jop jop nunuk nija. Ngan briya kora mort. Briya kora yay. Karijin. Yanganing kora yay. Ngan jop. Mom and Jennigan, may the good spirits come in here with us all today, to be here with us today, and to make sure that we are safe. Jenjen, Yuroko, Nija, where Winji Nunuk, Nornding Kyle. Nanwankin Nunuk, Courage and Cordial, Courage and Cordial. Bojak Colling. I ask you, when you are in this country, that you walk this country with a caring heart and a thoughtful mind, the way that my ancestors walked this country. My ancestors have cared for this land for a very, very long time. It's something we need to pay attention to. Caring for country and caring for one another. Because we are walking this land together. We are here together. When I talk about my culture, this is part of your history when you call this place home. This is part of your culture too. This is a time to embrace and to be a part, to become one as people, and to understand each other. We learn about each other's cultures. This is how we come together. May we have a good day today. Here on my country where I have a strong ancestral connection to. Kaiwa. Thank you all. We appreciate you letting us come here to be able to perform a welcome to country. It means a lot. On behalf of my family and my elders, I welcome you here to my country and bring in the good spirits for us all today. I'm going to place these leaves onto the fire right now to bring in that good smoke, and that's a cleansing smoke, to make sure it brings in those good spirits, that good energy, to make sure that it's a safe place for us all. Thank you.
Send a great round of applause there for the welcome to country, and thank you to Jaden Boundary and Dancing Yalak, Nidja and Dwayne. That's a pretty special way to start this afternoon's festivities off, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic, and they do it so well. That's been brilliant. I was here last year for the same round and did the call, and yeah, they do a great job out here with it.
Yes, and as we are just winding up and as they're clearing off, we'll have a look at the team list. And as we said, Wanneroo, they're the visiting team, and they've got their front row, Powell, Smith and Roo. Big man Roo, Kyle Sear and Kate Begg in the second row, Karangaroa, Hinkley and Avito. He's really stepped into a leadership role this year, and he's playing really well at number 8 there for this Wanneroo team. Jai Edwards-Tilby, Ethan Riley there at the 9-10 combination. Simeone Bully and Isaiah Strickland, they're the two wingers, with Porakapi, Tukaki, Edward Turugava in the centres, and Jordan Grattan, he's going to be at fullback from captain.
And for Kalamunda, the home team, it's Maguire, Anu and Tuiavi in the front row. Hemi Tuiavi will be wearing jersey number 19. The locks, Mar and Hukamau. In the back row, Gershom Adams will be wearing jersey number 3. Ben Smith and winger Siam Manatafa. The halves, the two black boys, Pamare Black at 9 and Ryan Black at 10. The wingers, Regan Howley and Andrew Duviduvicula. And in the centres, Braden Forrest and Malachi Tamanu. And at fullback, in 15, Charles Rawlins.
And how exciting is it to see that number 2 out there, Cruzan now for Kalamunda, very experienced man, He's coached here, he's played professionally with the Western Force and the Melbourne Rebels as well. How great is it to see him pplaying out here today?
Yeah, definitely. Cruz is a great guy, and he's been fantastic for this club over the years, and as you say, in numerous roles. So good to see him out on the field.
And as Jordan Grattan gets us underway here down at the bullpen, it's taken early, but I think that's by Semana Tufa. Strong carry there, sorry. Adams. Black clears it away. And Forrest, that searching left boot. Straight down the guts and carried. Strell back in strongly by Vito. Ball moved quickly there from Rue. Tilby, he just finds he's got Sear there early. And Ethan Riley, not interested in playing any more footy down that half. As Rawlins clears it back with a little bit of interest as well. Here we go, Grattan, will he have a little crack? Moves the ball wide, over to his opposite winger, over to Bully. He'll definitely have a crack. Tackled well there though by Smith.
Hands off!
Vito, another strong carry by him again. Ball moved well there out of dummy half from the big man Powell. It's a long way down. It's Powell again. Doesn't worry about moving it this time. Tucks and carries. Vito, he's the dummy runner. Over to Riley. A little bit of space here for Strickland. Shrugs off one. He's wrapped up well. Oh, and the Kalamunda boys rip the ball away. But the referee said he's called him down. He's called hands off. And Dwayne, a good little opening passage of play from both teams there, but particularly Wanneroo.
Yeah, Wanneroo looking to play with the ball a little bit. Ethan Riley then gets his hands on the ball, kicks it long, plays back. Rawlins didn't have any interest in running it back, so he's kicked it and given Wanneroo an opportunity to come back at them. So there's a bit of continuity there for Wanneroo early on, and we'll see if they can continue that to build up pressure.
And the first opportunity as well down here in the 22. This is attacking 22, and it's Smith with the line out. Looks to go the back, throws a little bit errant there, and it's cleaned up well there as well by Adams. Carries hard, Black clears.
Advantage over!
And another big raking left foot there from Forrest. Little bit of space on the far side for Grattan. Carries the ball in two hands, beats over two. Flips it back inside. That's inside for Takaki. Takaki beats one, offloads again. We find Cade Begg, I think it is, with the ball down there. Oh, and a great bit of space, but then just killed. And it's that man, we spoke about him last time as well, Ryan Black. He's just such a spiritual leader for this team out there, and he just does everything as that modern-day 10, doesn't he, Dwayne?
Well, you know, he's fantastic, and we were talking about him before the game, and his ability to get over the ball is just like a flanker. He's built like a flanker, and he gets really good positioning on this, and there's no way that they're going to move him once he gets that positioning. So there he is. He's able, and you know what? We're really well balanced, so he's able to take a good position and not get knocked over. So he's a talented footy player and has been for quite some time.
Yeah, and diffuses that brilliant run by Grattan down that far side. Early warning there for Kalamunda. If they're going to kick, they're going to have to find some grass or find it over the line. It's one well there by Ma, but a quick short tap, and they're off. And here we go, Semana Tufa. Big, strong carry from the Kalamunda legend. Black finds Black. Oh, line spin's good there from Wanneroo. Don't quite shut down Tamanu there behind the line. Little show and go there from Adams. He's been met well though by the Wanneroo defence. They flood in, they have a crack. Manage to get the ball back.
Advantage.
And it is on a little knock on there. It's just a little tap on by Forrest. And it was Angus Maguire, I think. He's been met well. He's been met heavily there too.
And that's Jake Smith. He's winding back the clock there. Jake Smith with that massive big shot. And that was, yeah, it was a great tackle there just to knock the ball clean.
Yeah, he shut. There was a little sniff of a gap there early that shut pretty quickly with Jake Smith. And we talk about Jake as well, though. Looking at the size of this Wanneroo front row with Power, Smith and Rue as well. they've got a fair bit of heft about them, Dwayne.
Yeah, they certainly do. They've got a bit of size, and you know what? That's the thing, especially with Jake Smith there and Andre Roux. They've got some experience as well, so they know how to play their game. And those boys will do the hard yards for the Wanneroo team.
Yeah, it could all be for nothing though. As we come into this first scrum, it's going to be pretty exciting to see if they can flex that muscle that they've got, because they've got a big pack, don't they? And they'll be looking to use it, but it's two big packs as we talk about it. We look across at the Wanneroo, their opposition, the Kalamunda team. This pack, they're not a small group of guys either. And we've already seen Simon Atufa and Adams doing a whole lot of work with their carry and being really physical as well. They're not even the biggest boys in that pack, are they, Dwayne?
No, they're not. And just looking at that Kalamunda front row, we've got a few changes there, so there's some different faces than what we'd actually expected to be starting the game. So,
yeah, I can't see Cruz out there.
No, certainly not. So Pume Black is on there in the front row.
Hemi Tuiviti, he's still over at Titan. I think it is still Angus Maguire. Just Pume Black, he's out there starting at hooker. Maybe those hamstrings of Cruz has just got a little bit tight pre-game.
So does he have hamstrings, Cruz?
Yeah, let's put that into action, please.
That posterior side of his femur, that just might have been tightening up then as well. He's got cold bones for the old man. First scrum for the afternoon. Let's have a look, see who can assert dominance early. Oh, good battle, and the referee, they just get, I think it's Tuiviti, I think they get him for angling in here on the tight head side. So you see it was a good hit. They chased their feet really well. But just that angle, he's just angling in just that little bit too much.
So, talking about that, like you see that the tight head angling in there, how much responsibility has the loose head got to stay square there, or do they just follow them in and make it look like the tight head's going in on the hooker?
Yeah, I think you've nailed it straight on the head there as well. There could be a little bit of that, but for Tuiviti, he's just got to make sure he goes forward first. As long as he goes forward first, that'll give him the opportunity to then go in. As we look here with Smith, his second throw picked off there well by Kalamunda, but there's all sorts of pressure just heaped on top. Black having a scrap around. They've got the numbers behind the ball. It's Ryan Black. He goes into dummy half. Little settler there. Looks like it's from Gershom Adams. Another carry for him. I think that's 4 or 5 already. It's just been sprayed as they look to clear.
It's good pressure from Wanneroo, and they've got some good pay out of that because it wasn't a good exit by Kalamunda. So Wanneroo in a really good position to test. Tell me, would they be looking to maul here?
Well, that's what I was about to ask you. You're the super coach, Dwayne.
Well, you know, they're not shy of having a crack at a maul, Wanneroo. I think they'll give it a crack.
Big pressure here. Well done. Well won.
You've already been it.
Oh, and Kalamunda looked to step off, but they'd actually engaged, so they've lost any.
Yeah, they march it all the way. And who is it? It's coming up with the ball there. It's the number 6. It's Braden Karangaroa. There's a few questions there being asked as well by the boys from the Kalamunda team, but someone's just missed the message. They've touched them all early, and then they've released off. And that's just given him, once you give that Wanneroo, the pack, the opportunity to set them all up and get it moving, it's just going to be hard to stop them all the way, isn't it, Dwayne?
Yeah, they'd set that up really well, irrespective of Kalamunda's trying to step off there. But someone doesn't hear the call, puts their hands on the Wanneroo player. It means they've engaged, so they can't then just step off and expect it to be a truck and trailer. So Wanneroo take the advantage of it.
Yeah, you could see it. They got caught with their hands in the till there. A couple of those Kalamunda players, unfortunately, their hands went straight up when they were trying to show they were off, but unfortunately a few of those hands were a little bit too slow to get up because they were right all over that maul. Great vision here as we've got Jordan Grattan looking to add the extras. See if he can make this lead 7-0. Oh, it's just hit the top of the post. So the score remains 5-0, and And Dwayne, we've spoken about the enterprising play already so far from Wanneroo. They're looking to really play with the ball in hand this afternoon, aren't they?
100%, and like, you know, it's spectacular conditions out here. You could not ask for a better afternoon of rugby. So Wanneroo mentally are in the right shape, and we just have to see how Kalamunda respond here. And they'll be wanting to put points on the board and play some footy down in Wanneroo's half, which I haven't been able to do yet.
Charles Rawlins about to take the restart. 2 metres on the other side of halfway. Fielded there well by Andre Roux. And the big tight head's underneath it, and he's bustled into touch.
Duva Kula and Tamunu, fantastic chase. Wrap him up, send him into touch. They knew exactly what they needed to do off that, and I suggest that would almost be a planned move there off a restart, to just bundle that player who takes it into touch, and they've done well there, Kalamunda.
Done well to pick out the tight head prop marking the ball. They win the ball well down the back. Players coming around the corner here. Little show and go there by Maguire. He manages to sniff through. They're in behind them now. Ball slows down just a touch. It's Tuiavihi who looks to get it started again. Adams fighting around the back of that ruck. He's looking to get his hands on the ball. They're looking to strike. Black finds Black. Hands out through onto Tamanu. Big step inside by David Vakula. Brought down well. Big carry by Maguire. He stays on his feet till the support gets there. Once again, it's Adams. Adams, he finds it. He's got his 10. He's got his 10, Ryan Black, and it's Black in the corner, getting the ball back from the crowd. And great width-to-width play there from Kalamunda, isn't it, Dwayne Nestor?
Oh, it's entertaining rugby, and do you know what makes it more entertaining is Gershom Adams absolutely loves to carry, and if we watch this play here, they set up well to get the ball out. Siamanatafa plays it out the back. Gershom Adams catches it behind him, but a little basketball pass over the top because he's able to draw in that outside defender. And Ryan Black, he's not the fastest player in the history of the game, but he didn't have to be to score that try.
Yeah, and it was that beautiful work by Adams, just drawing in three, recognising as well the opportunity on the outside. And Ryan Black as well, just showing faith in the big back row there, keeping his width, knowing that the big man's going to either take those three on himself and be able to handle it, or get that ball out wide. And it was Ryan Black in the corner beautifully. No swan dives, but none needed as he just ambled in. And Caleb Marr looking to add the extras. 5-all currently down here at the bullpen.
John Eales-esque, the locks taking conversions.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
That's it. That is an absolutely magnificent strike from out there. Well done.
Yeah, he struck that brilliantly, and it's back to 7-5. And
they needed that, Kalamunda, didn't they? They were under a bit of pressure with Wanneroo. Wanneroo were playing most of the rugby, and the first foray into Wanneroo's 22, and they come away with 7 points. It's a great effort.
Yeah, you banged the nail on the head there, Dwayne. Grattan with the restart, looks deep. Siamanatafa is going to let that roll. And just not enough rolls on it. They'll bring it back for a scrum on halfway.
Scrum. It's gone dead straight away. No, not dead. It's not gone dead. It's tapped down straight away. It's scrum. If it goes straight into scrum now.
And this is a great opportunity. A bit of a mistake there from Wanneroo, isn't it, Dwayne? As they've invited this Kalamunda team back into their half immediately after having points put on them.
Yeah, you can understand the theory there. You want to kick it long, make Kalamunda catch it, kick it out, and you've got a line out in their half. But you know, unfortunately, you can't rely on the ball. It'll roll whichever way it wants, and it had enough to roll into the in goal. And then, as the referee was saying there, played straight away, or sort of, touchdown in goal straight away, so it comes back for the scrum.
Yeah, and Jordan Grattan, he can't rely on the wind either. If you can see the flags in the background, that kick was straight into the teeth of the breeze as well, but it still managed to go just about dead.
A little bit of instability there in the scrum, so they will, the referees will definitely not let them engage when there's instability.
And it was interesting that last scrum as well. Tuivi, he did well. Kalamunda, they won that hit well. They've just got to make sure they push through the mark first before any of the angles change.
Go, Charlie! Set! Stay set, yeah.
Cleared out by 2 minutes half up. Ball inside Rawlins. Great little angle there as he changed his line late. Black. There's that man again. Adams is going to put his hand up for that all day.
Are you off your feet? Hands off!
Ball just slowed down. They get a little bit lost there just for a second. It's Pumbi Black. He clears it away. Clears it away to Ryan Black. He takes the carry on. A little bit of space there. A little show from Forrest. Beats one. Wrapped up well there by Riley. As they release, they look to go again here, Kalamunda. Wrapped up Tice. A little bit of a knock on there, and it's been picked up by Wanneroo. The big, strong carry over the other side. It's Thomas Power there. Little tip. Oh, he wasn't really expecting it. A little bit of a knock on there. Oh, but unfortunately, Kalamunda just not rolling away on the other side of the ball. And as we welcome Peter Grant this afternoon as well, and Peter, it's been a lot of...
He's got off the field, had his shower and driven out here.
He's ready to go. Managed to do his hair as well. It's been...
His hair doesn't ever get out of place. What are you talking about?
It's been an all-out attacking assault so far, hasn't it, Peter?
Yeah, quick little run for third grade. Maybe we'll be late this afternoon, guys. Thanks for having me. I'll skip the hats on this point. Yeah, good attack from both sides at the moment, but conditions suit, don't they?
Here we go, and we find as they move up through the hands, it's Takaki there, and the big left palm as well. Banking up over the ball. They've got to move that. Tilby finds Riley. Here we are with Grattan. Steps back inside. He's beaten two. Wrapped up well. Tilby's marshalling the troops here. Little stutter step, Karangaroa.
Tackle!
Get up!
They've got a few numbers out here. There's a little bit of space here for Wanneroo to play. Wrapped up well over that side. I think that's Kyle Sear, I think, getting wrapped up there. So, you know, there's Sear as well. He's taking the short ball there on the stroke line. Karangaroa, or pick and drive through the middle, but unfortunately for the Wanneroo boys, they're in front of the ball and they picked it up. It was the old Steve Murphy trick. He'd stand in front and reach 2 metres backwards.
With a big mitt of his.
Big glove, but unfortunately no more. Is it, Dwayne Nestor?
No. And look, we'd be interested to go back a little bit. Thomas Powell, I reckon he got whaled off the ball. He got cleaned up on the edge of one of those rucks, and he was looking a little bit shaken there for a bit, but he's got up and he's wandered back into play. But we'll see how he goes in the next few minutes.
And Kalamunda, another opportunity down in Wanneroo's half. Ball's well won there by Ma. Covering around the back, that's Hookamau. And just... not sure what that penalty's for there. He got them from the side.
Well, Andre Roux was on this quick smart. I don't know whether he got side.
Oh, yeah, he's got Angus Maguire, yeah.
Mate, makes it pretty simple when you're coming dead set in from the side of a tackle zone. So, good call, ref.
And just like that, the little attacking foray just diffuse. Getting a little bit of clarity on their call here as they walk up to the line out here with Jake Smith. Maybe they didn't get enough clarity on that call, though. It's picked up there by Black quickly. He knocks on almost straight away, so they're going to come back for a Kalamunda scrum, and just a little bit scrappy this last little period here.
That was a disappointing lineup. Hey, I mean, they got together, had a good little meeting there. It felt like time was standing still after a while, and they all walked in. They all looked like they were clear on what was happening, and they obviously weren't.
Said by a frustrated 10, I would suggest.
Oh, absolutely. You can sense. I can see Riley there in the back. Oh, he's shaking his head. He's not happy with his boys.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity for them to launch there, but unfortunately now they're back on the defensive side of the ball. Good hit here, good pressure here put on by Powell at scrum time here, and they've swept around the side. I think it's Hinkley. He's really wrapping it up. They're going to hold him up on. They've come away with it here. Tilby places the ball back, and it's cleared away by Karangaroa. A little bit of space as they look for a little Strickland with a little dummy, wrapped up well by Davidova though. Big shot there, wrapped him up well. Grattan, he clears the ball. Over there, Karangaroa with a little tip on. Finds Powell. A little bit scrappy. Referee calls play on.
Said it was stripped, so it is play on.
Hands down here, Tilby. Comes around the corner, Riley says, no, we're going backwards. Oh, and a lovely kick down into the left-hand pocket here. How pretty is that to watch, Peter Grant?
Oh, magnificent. Oh, beautiful nudge by Ethan there in the corner. He's just, yeah, I've been watching him. He's really marshalling his troops around. He's giving them some good direction. So, yeah, it must be pleasing for the forwards to have a 10 like that, just to be able to give them some good communication. But and they'll be pleased with that little nudge from him, putting them in a good position.
Pressure down on Kalamunda now. They've got to exit their line. Great call to space. Black, he plays across. Big carry there by Tamanu. Clears it well. And then it's Forrest again down this left field. Bringing the ball back, and they've got Wanneroo. Wanneroo must have snuck.
Yeah, he's got him for offside.
For offside.
I think they've sort of set that up. It was Andre Roux just taking one too many steps forward.
He just got a little bit excited there, just trying to keep the pressure on. That's one of those coach killers, though, isn't it, Dwayne?
You know, and it's material effect too, because that rear defender from the line out, he steps out there to balk the 9, so it stops them from actually playing. So you can say it's material effect. Some people might say, oh, he didn't get in the way, he didn't do anything, but it does have an effect on how they clear the ball from that. So.
No, absolutely. And they just let the pressure off Kalamunda this time, give him that easy exit, and all of a sudden it's Black throwing 40 metres out from his own line. Little trick play down the front. Just couldn't quite get the hands free. Okamau cleared Helby by Tilby. Davidova comes on, steaming onto that ball. Finds Adams. Adams out the back to Siamana Tufa. Just a little bit lost here. We know Adams what he's going to do. He's going to stick his head down. He bounces out the other side. Great little carry there from Adams. He's got the arms free. Off the side to Rawlins. Rawlins, he's been brought down with a great offload as well. That's Regan Howley diving over on the far side. And a little bit of nothing turns into a little bit of something there, doesn't it, Dwayne Nestor?
It's Gershom Adams' show. He's loving it. He's getting shoulders through tackles or breaking through tackles. A little bit of footwork, a little bit of dance moves later on in the dance floor tonight. But he breaks through the tackle, ball in one hand, looking for the offload. Nice to Charles Rawlins. That was a good line. He wasn't able to get away from Bully, but he was able to get the ball to Regan Howley, who scores in the corner. And that is fantastic attack, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, Rawlins had a bit of work to do there as well. I mean, he was good in support there, just on the shoulder of Adams, and there was just two good right offloads in the tackle, which is not easy to do. So yeah, they both performed that perfectly actually, and yeah, great finish.
And it's the support play as well that they've been known for a lot this year, isn't it, as well, Pete?
Yeah, it is. You know, it doesn't help if you've got guys breaking the line and there's no one feeding off them. So it's key. It's a job where you don't get a lot of pay a lot of the time. So you just got to keep on sticking at it. You know, and they do pay off. Or when they do pay off, so they pay off well, just like they did there. So as the extras are added.
Yeah, as we said, again. Caleb Marr adds the 2 points. That takes it out to 14-5. And after being 5-0 early on with all the attack going Wanneroo's way, Kalamunda, they've been able to string some phases together. And it just shows how important that little penalty was just 2 minutes ago. They were down in the end, under pressure, Wanneroo infringing. Gives them the opportunity to go back up the field, doesn't it, Dwayne?
That's exactly right. Like discipline, you know, coaches talk about it all the time, making sure they've got discipline. As Grattan kicks long, he's not going to go towards the dead ball anymore.
And it's carried back by Maguire. They look to attack down that short side for us. He's found a little bit of space there for his winger with Howley. Little knock on. Wanneroo, they're going to look to play here. Tilby, he clears it. Big carry there from Big Andre Roux. Move the ball back a little bit. Ethan Riley, little loop over the top. Great little set of hands there from Bully. And space here for Strickland. Strickland, he steps inside one, beats one. Looking to hold him up. Pumi Black. They've been called out, so he releases the ball. No protection there, and it's Duvadakula. Duvadakula, has he got the speed? He hasn't got the speed. He keeps the ball alive, though. Ball still free, cleaned up here by Grattan. But now it's the Kalamunda boys. They're hot on it. Looking to blast over here. The Wanneroo, they get round it. Little show and go there from Riley. Kicks the ball away. Here we go, Rawlins. He's got some space. He's got some time. He's got some men around him. Runs straight into Tukaki there. But the ball's still alive, and it's that man again, Adams. He finds the wing. They're beaten by one over there, Howley. He's looking for his second still. On the ball's loose. And a crazy little block of play comes to an end. They look to go quickly. Oh.
They're excited, Kalamunda.
Oh, and they love to play this high tempo, all out, all attacking brand of play. And it's working brilliantly for them. And it's that support again, isn't it, Peter? They're just getting in behind each other. They're looking for offloads. And as you said, it's no good to stick your nose through if there's no one there.
Yeah, they're playing with no numbers on their backs. That's what it looks like. You see guys out of position all the time, but they all know what they're doing. And,
as they take the quick
as they go, here they go again.
Maguire carries. Look to set up midfield. Semina Tufa. He comes around the corner with a little tip on for Black. Oh, and it's been turned over there well. Has it been by Wanneroo? Avito, he's over there strong. Oh, an advantage there for Kalamunda. No clear release. Looking to go quickly, slowed down. Black, he's still going to want to play. Finds it out for Forrest. Forrest finds Gershom Adams. Adams, has he made it? He has.
There's no way
the try has been awarded. Whistle just cutting out there on the feed. But even when they've got that ball slowed down just a little bit, the opportunities are still there, and they're still taking them, aren't they, Dwayne Nestor?
Yeah, definitely. And this is entertaining rugby, and this is the rugby that Paul King likes to coach into his teams. He lets them play the game. And especially a team like Kalamunda, when they are allowed to play like this, when defences give them a little bit of an opportunity, they get so excited and they start to express themselves. And it's, you know, as a spectator here or a spectator on stand, you're enjoying a game of rugby with some good quality offloads, good quality attack, Pete.
Yeah, Ryan Black was never going to settle for 3 points there. You could see he was going to take that quick tap, and Gershon Adams, he's like a fullback cutting the line there out wide. He was nowhere near the centre of the ruck there. He was wanting to put that ball down, and yeah, it was a great finish by the big man.
And how handy is it having someone like Gershon Adams who, he's got that ability to not only carry hard and strong, but set his players up on the outside and even identify that little bit of space. So he's not just a one-dimensional player that he's just running into brick walls the whole time. He's the full package, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He's got some skills, and you know, in all areas of the game. Is a little bit reminiscent of Anare Koliavu, who used to play for Palmyra. You know, these basketball passes over the top.
As we see, yeah, well, they've sliced a few metres off him for that carry there. They made it look like he just fell over the line, but there was a little bit more work to do than that as Jordan Grattan looks for the restart. Picked up there by Adams again. Sees he's had enough. Off to Winger. Winger with a big carry. Here we go, Black clears it now. He's got Maguire through the hands. It's like you touched on, Dwayne. There's a lot of confidence there now. A little bit scrappy here. Maguire dives on the ball. Black finds Black. Looking to move it a little bit wider. There's that man Adams again. Offloads to Black. Loves to be involved. Playing back down the short side. Big strong carry from Benjamin Smith. Forrest clears it through. And great hands there. Gets Howley just a little bit of space down the side. Black to Black. Goes wide to Black again. Black to Black to Black. Hook him out. He steps inside. Great offload here. Rawlins, he's got himself in a little bit of space. Davidakula on the inside of him. There he is. He looks on the outside, and there's that man, Davidakula. And the crowd's starting to get up, and the ball's moving around. And Kalamunda, they are on a roll here down to the bullpen.
And this is a situation for Wanneroo, whereas if they're not really careful here and they don't buckle down defensively, they're going to get found out with a big score against them this afternoon, because Kalamunda are running hot this afternoon.
Yeah, you could see just the confidence they've got as well to move that ball from wide to wide. Like Peter, they back themselves no matter what position. It's exactly like you said. There's no numbers on backs, is there? They're just, where's the space? Let's find it and let's play there.
Yeah, it's the confidence, as you're saying there now. I was thinking about it. They were just being so patient with the ball in hand. You know, they weren't going forward, and they were just nudging away down the blind there. And then all of a sudden, there's a bit of momentum, and then they just start, things just flare up, and they spread that ball wide, as you mentioned, Black to Black to Black out wide. Some quick passes, and man, they found themselves in some good space. But it was just patience, knuckling down, and keeping the ball through the phases there that really got them that try in the end.
And they're probably lucky, Pete, in the fact that they've got Ryan Black at 10, but they've also got Braden Forrest, who's stepping up as that first receiver, and he's got a half-decent pass on him as well. So they're able to get width on their attack quite quickly and accurately. That's another one. Nailing it from all parts of the ground this afternoon.
Yeah, should we just talk a bit about Caleb Maher's game there and his kicking game? I mean, what are his stats for the season? Because he's been phenomenal. He just nudges them so beautifully.
You can't miss.
Yeah, he just caresses it, doesn't he? It's like your golf swing, Dwayne. Just looks very effortless and very easy.
You've never seen me play golf, Tess.
Something else that looked very effortless and easy was Davidakula, as he just put that ball down easily. And Grattan, he's probably kicked off a few more times than he was planning to today. They look to change it up, kick it back to this short side.
To the try scorer.
Ball's taken well by Davidakula. They don't know what to do with him. They hang off him. They've got the opportunity for that more. Wrapped up well. Black looks to move it. Finds that man again. Adams gets the hands free, but it's well read. This time it's Tukaki. He gets him, takes the interception. Oh, but the ball's won back straight away. And I think it was that man again, Ryan Black, getting in over the ball. Every time Wanneroo, they just get their tail up. They get a little bit of a sniff. It gets snuffed out straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's almost like whether it's just a little bit of ill discipline or just it not going right for them, but they just can't get their hands back on the ball for any period of time here. And, you know, I'm looking at Kalamunda and I'm saying they're going to throw lots of these offloads because they're confident. Some are going to come off, some aren't. As it was intercepted there by Tukaki, but Ryan Black, he's able to get on there and just steal that.
And then marched up the field. Big kick there by Forrest. Gets them to within 10 of the halfway line. Couple big boys out in the middle of the field. They've got Adams sitting out there and Sumana Tufa. They look to play. Here we go. Draws a couple in around him. Beats a couple as well. Smith in over the top of the ball. Black moves it. Finds Black again. Great little line there from Rawlins. Comes in at it hard. With the ball still alive. Wrapped up there, it's Tamanu. Now they're back. They're looking like they've got that momentum going there. Or halted there well. Big tackle. He steps into first receiver now, Adams. The ball's straight in the right hand there from Hookamau. Looking to offload before contact. And just give it to the big man. Big man gives it to another big man there. Comes in a dummy half as well. Forrest, big hit there. Davutokula, he bounces off it though. Oh, and Semana Tufa. Well, it goes through. Forrest puts his hand up for a bit of the hard stuff as well. They come around the corner. Black, oh, big pass out. Goes wide. He finds Rawlins. Rawlins is cutting back in. He's got his man, Davutokula, in there with him. Looks for the offload. Couldn't get it away. They're still hot on the attack here. Big pass by Tamanu. He finds some space here. They're lining up again out wide. Omar just puts it behind, unfortunately.
So it'll come back, but how entertaining is this Kalamunda team at this point in time? They this sort of rugby is not strange to them because this is how they play, and as we say, like they'll train for this. They'll train for the width. They'll train to be able to play and throw these long passes and get to the other side. But Caleb Marr's been kicking like an absolute gem this afternoon, but he'll put that. He'll take that pass.
Here we go, and they take the quick cap here. Back with Maguire. Back live now. Tuvi, he's looking to get over the ball. Comes loose here. Smith with the carry. Sealed by Tuvi. They look to slow it just to settle it, just for a little bit. Forrest. He was looking at Black on the inside. Wrapped up well there. Strong carry there. I think it's Hookamau on the underneath there. He's still got the legs going. Is there fly off? It's not a mistake. Black, he's in there. He's looking for work. Oh, it's 10-man rugby here right now, but then they draw them in. They look to behind the space. It's Tamanu there as he cuts back inside. Well clean. Little bit of space. Pick and drive in around the ruck. And there it is. He's reached out. It's Ryan Black, I think it was. It was a quick one. Just as they cut back in. And he's found that little bit of a space there around the ruck. And Peter Grant, he's just having his hand in just about everything this afternoon.
He's always sniffing around the rucks, Ryan Black. He's got there so quickly. He's picked that ball up and gone straight through the middle and dotted down. I feel like he even beat the referee, but he's played scrum off at the previous ruck. He's played it to Adams there, who's been a ball player. He's got both centres inside and outside him. And there's Black, just snuffs it through the middle. Catches Wanneroo napping there around the fringes of the defence. And yeah, he's really just getting stuck in this afternoon, isn't he?
He's enjoying this, and that's the thing. Like Ryan Black's played quite a few seasons as a 9, now playing 10 for them. You know, you look at the frame of him; he could play 7. So he's definitely someone who's very versatile around the paddock. And as you said there, he's throwing a good clearing pass from the previous ruck and then going and sniffing at the next ruck. So well earned try for Ryan Black.
Yeah, and as he's just helped out his kicker as well, Caleb Barr. So this is the easiest opportunity he's had all afternoon so far. We won't say anything about the kick because we don't want to put the curse on him. But he just gets out the pitching wedge and taps that one over nicely. And with about 2 minutes to go on the half, it's 35-5. And Dwayne, is this what we're expecting this afternoon?
No, not when you're looking at 10th and 11th on the table, and especially given that Wanneroo, like we called them last week, and they played some pretty good rugby last week. They did quite well at home, but yeah, this is turning ugly for them in the first half. But you can understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop the Kalamunda ball carriers, but they can't do it at the moment.
They were a little bit scrappy there. Rawlins managed to keep it in. Wrapped up well by Riley. Time starting to go down in the half. Oh, and Forrest looks to carry out of his half, out of his try line. They'll back themselves here though, and here we go. Adams, he gets his hands on the ball. Beats 1, beats 2. Wrapped up. Little settler, and it's Ryan Black just sticking in the pocket. Correct me if I'm wrong, that could be the first time that Ryan Black has kicked the ball all afternoon.
Yeah, and it may be the only time we see him. But do you know what, look, in a way you say, look, they've had their chance, they've had a crack at trying to attack out of their 22, but then they're smart enough to go, let's just clear it, let's just relieve a bit of pressure and go to a line out.
You say smart enough, they were literally playing behind their own try line there at one phase, Dwayne. I don't know if we should keep on with that strategy. I definitely think kicking was the only option they needed to go to there.
I don't know, there's a bit of French flair rugby.
Confidence with the capital C makes you do brilliant things.
It'd be a different story, Pete, if they'd run the length of the field and scored.
No, that it would have been.
Now, little pause in play here. We've just got Charles Rawlins. He's down here on the near side of the field.
He's been good for Kalamunda this afternoon, bringing the ball back, hasn't he? Because Wanneroo have tried to exit. They've tried to get ground on their kicks. He's positioned himself well to be able to field the balls and then bring the ball back. But he's also been able to slot into that back line really nicely and run some beautiful lines, especially off to Manu at 13 there. And a player of that calibre is pretty handy coming from the back.
And how important is it to be fielding that ball? Like, he's catching every kick that they're putting in behind. He's catching it on the full, being able to turn it well. Like, how important is it to be able to take those balls on the full?
Oh, absolutely, because that's what we said earlier about the unpredictability of a rugby ball. If you let it bounce, it becomes a lottery. But if you get it on the full, usually you're on the move quite well, and you get the benefit from it. As Wanneroo win their line out cleanly.
Here we go. They've got their last strike here before half-time. Slinging it out at Turigava. A little bit loose there, picked up well there by Bully. Sorry, that's Turigava there. Bully comes in to clean out. We go Tilby. He finds Power with the carry. And it's Black just making a pest of himself with that ruck again. Riley shapes up. Oh, shapes up, but he's beaten the two. Bit of a collision there from the Kalamunda players, but Ethan Riley spots the gap. He spots the two bigger men there, keeps the ball in two hands, so they have to sit off. And takes that space well and scores the second try for Wanneroo this afternoon. We just see they're flying in. Oh, a little bit of a head clash there was between Gershom Adams and I'm not sure who the other Kalamunda player was.
Hukamau.
It was Hanare Hukamau coming in hard, but Ethan Riley spotted that little bit of a perceived weakness in that line there and just took the advantage of it to full extent, didn't he?
And it was the acceleration that resulted in Hukamau and Adams actually having the head clash, because he's accelerated so quickly that they haven't been able to get a shoulder on them. They've ended up just both of them swinging around behind him. And you see that occasionally where the timing gets changed for the defenders and they end up out of position and not able to get a shoulder on. So Ethan Riley's acceleration there was fantastic.
And here we are as Jordan Grattan just taking his time, line up. Look to add the extras. Which he does, and he does well. As we cross, as the ref blows his whistle for the halftime break, and it's, as the score, it's 35-12 here, and a brief little flurry of points there from Wanneroo just before the half, Dwayne, but what else do they need to do to get back in this game?
Well, look, you can understand what they're trying to do defensively, as I've said before. They're trying to shut down the offloads of the Kalamunda team. But if you're not being effective in that, as much as you know that that's the process you need to go through, and if it doesn't actually happen, then it allows them to play with the freedom that they love. And when they've got that freedom, their confidence grows. So, you know what? That try is invaluable to Wanneroo going into halftime. And a little bit of momentum, they can take a little bit of confidence out of that. It was a one-man show with Ethan Riley just doing it himself, but it's still points on the board. And, as we said, that first half early on, it could have got ugly for Wanneroo, and it did.
And just as we're getting the vision there of Wanneroo, we're going to cross down to Peter Grant, who is down there with Angus Maguire, I believe, from Kalamunda.
Yeah, we're here with Angus. Angus, pretty happy with that first half, mate.
Yeah, pretty happy. We're just showing what we can do with the ball in hand. We've got space in front of us and play opens up. So.
Is that the plan, hey? Is that the plan going forward for you guys?
Yeah, we like to play an open style of rugby, especially with the home crowd and lots of supporters. So.
Yeah, supporters getting behind you today, absolutely. But you've got some big, heavy forwards there doing a lot of skill work. Is that a key part of your guys' game plan?
Yeah, we got a few ring-ins as well. leaguey there, Kirsch. So, yeah, he's a big ball carrier for us. Good hands as well. So.
Great job, mate. Good luck for the second half. Keep it going.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Angus Maguire there. He's the captain. He's kind of underplayed his hand this afternoon, but he's been really solid for this Kalamunda team. You know, we've got lots of other big ball carriers, offloaders, but he's one of the chiefs that's just doing all the hard work as well, isn't he?
And you always need that. It doesn't matter how fancy your team is. You need those guys who are just going to do the grunt work, and he does that. He just does the simple things, but occasionally he'll do that little tip off and make that extra pass. So he's got the skills to do it. As we see Wanneroo's first try, and they had a great start to the game with that driving maul. And there's Angus Maguire there going into contact for what was Kalamunda's first try. And you know, they as we spoke about this, we set it up really well with Adams' little basketball pass over the top. Ryan Black, that was the first of his 2 tries.
Yeah, and that was where the floodgates just really opened from there, didn't it? And they all just come from nothing. Well, one thing they have all come from just about is this man here, the number 3, Gershom Adams. Had a look around, nothing too much on, but just keep that awareness as well. And Charles Rawlins, like we touched on before, still had plenty of work to do before it was Regan Hanley there diving it down over in the far corner. And once again, that man gets the ball in his hand, but it's just that constant barrage of attack, and it just, not only is it hard to weather, but it's hard to get back on top of as well once you lose control. So if you want to once the floodgates open, it's hard to really close them, isn't it, Dwayne?
Yeah, definitely it is. And that's where you need players on the field, from Wanneroo's point of view, to be able to probably just slow the game down so that they can get their head around what they've got to do next. It's when the game becomes frenetic that, you know, a lot of defensive players, they can't get their head around what they need to do next. And then, you know, there's, as we said, more ball runners coming at them, and it just becomes too much for them as Ryan Black gets his second try there.
And Pete, you were just out there with that the Kalamunda squad there as they're having a chat. What were they? Were they talking about? That's the message from Maguire. He's their captain. He's talking about keeping up this attack. Is that what we're going to see this whole second half as well?
Yeah, I think that's the way they play, hey, and that's what we've seen, and seen from them weeks before this as well. So it seems to be the strategy of theirs. But I must say, when I walked in that huddle, they were pretty nice and calm. The squad, they're all listening in on what I think it was Ryan Black had a few words to say, but very composed and very focused on what they want to do this afternoon.
Yeah, it's great to see. And just as the teams start to make their way up here, we've got the team of the week here from last week, and it's littered with a couple of Associates boys and Cottesloe players from that big game last week, and as well as Nakai Urkeg, he was here from Wanneroo, and Duvida as well, the 2 wingers. So we're seeing plenty of points. And as we go through the ladder, we've got Kalamunda and Wanneroo. They're playing down there at 11 and 10, respectively. But the game we've seen today, the skill we're seeing on show today, like they've just been unlucky with some of the games so far this year not to get those victories, haven't they, Dwayne?
Yeah, and that's the thing. They'll be ruining some of the losses that they've had this year. But, you know, you've got to win those. And if you don't, you end up, you know, down the bottom of the ladder where they are. But, you know, it'll be an interesting second half. If Kalamunda can maintain the rage, as they say, you know, it'll probably be a big score for them. But, mate, Wanneroo will not be out of this game. They'll work their way back into this game, I would suggest.
Here we are underway with Braden Forrest. Tilby, they get in the way a little bit. Riley drops it onto the left.
That was passed back.
Oh, and a critical error just to begin this half as well.
Oh, yeah, talk about coach killers, that's one. You know, if you're the Wanneroo coach, you're looking at that kick and you're going, geez, that's a great exit. We're going to have a line out probably in there. Oh, sorry, Kalamunda will have a line out in their own half, and then the next minute you go, oh no, we're in defence again.
Yeah, just a little clock off here, and it gives Kalamunda the opportunity to attack straight away, which is what they'll love to do. Black with a big throw down the back. Well taken by Hooker Mouse, a little bit off. Try a little play up through the middle, shut down well. Siwa Manatafa. He moves the ball well. Tuivi as well. They're just starting to get that little bit of a rumble. Strong defence there. Kangaroo, he sends them back. And the big man again down the sideline. That's Gershom Adams again. Just with a little shimmy whoosh to the outside and flicks it out the back of the hand. And Caleb Maher, I think it is, over on the far side. He dots the ball down. And just a little bit of confidence in his player, just to not rush in, know who it is, know he's going to get the arms free, Dwayne.
Look, and then that's the thing that Wanneroo may have spoken about, trying to shut down Adams here and say, you get that jamming in player there on the edge. He's holding, but he's not giving himself enough space to be able to react and get to the outside. So, Caleb Marr just goes, thanks very much. I'll just hang off here and wait for that one-handed offload. And whoop, there it is.
Oh, and it just made it easy as well. It was an easy read too, wasn't it, Pete? You could see that last defender, the Wanneroo defender, it's just kind of stuck in the mud, facing in. He was never going to get on the outside to support his man and tackle his man in. So it was nice and easy for Adams there just to bounce out.
Oh, the skills of the big man there. He just makes it look so easy, doesn't he? And it just must be part of the game plan to have him hanging off and just get his hands on the ball, because why wouldn't you? I mean, he's making such good use of it at the moment.
Yeah, I hope it's not part of Wanneroo's game plan to hang off him though as well, because they certainly did there, and they gave him the space. As Caleb Marr misses his first one for the afternoon, has a wry little giggle about it. He's happy because he just put the points on anyway.
Well, he was obviously very confident because he didn't try and run around any closer to the post. He was happy to take his own conversion from the edge.
So they walk it out. It's Grattan again. He's got underneath that one just a little bit. Unfortunately, it's gone straight to Gershom Adams. Gets them back to the 10. Black here, they've got an opportunity here down the sideline. Forrest sees the space open up in front of him. They hang off for a second. Black clears it to Black. Tuiviti there with the carry. Comes in, settle, supported well. On the front foot again here. Good hands, and they've found it all the way over to Rawlins. Rawlins looks to take them on, and it's Stuvitakula. Tackled well, but they're still building here, aren't they, Kalamunda? Siumanatafa. Big carry, a lot of work. He's gone a bit unheralded this afternoon. Oh, and just Ryan Black. Maybe they're the only people that are going to stop them this afternoon. He just has a little bit of a look up.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with himself here, Ryan Black. He knew that they were on. If they just maintained the movement of the ball, they'd find some little holes. But he's got a little bit ahead of himself.
Yeah, rare mistake from him there. But I want to see Wanneroo just holding onto the pill here for a little bit, just to get a bit of confidence, go through some phases, because they're just making tackles at the moment, and so there'll be some wary bodies there. But I think at the same time, Kalamunda will also be getting a bit of tired. So. Yeah, it'd be good to see Wanneroo just going through the phases now and hanging onto that ball.
They need to build some pressure through continuity, don't they, Pete?
Centre field scrum here, so they've got four backs lined up on that open side, far side. Short side, they've got just Jordan Grattan and Simeone Bully here, so there's a lot of space if they choose to attack this near side, the camera side. Great little attacking opportunity here.
The key with attacking the right side scrums, Tess, is just having at least your first receiver or whoever comes off the scrum being able to engage the back rower or the first defender, and then instantly you've got a 2v1 on the edge, and that's key. So if they do come this way, we'll just keep an eye on the first runner for Wanneroo to see how much impact they can have on holding defenders on the inside.
Yeah, Willavito, will he back himself to beat them off the side here? Ethan Riley takes it off, short side. Oh, and he straightens well, goes straight through the line, wrapped up eventually by Black, but that's got them straight on the front foot, hasn't it? They're lining up. They want to have a big crack here. Karangaroa, he has a nice, big, strong carry as well. Lucky not to draw the penalty there. A little bit of slow down ball. Andre Roux lumbers through there, supported well by Jake Smith. Tilby gets the ball out. Grattan, he finds Riley. Passes just a little bit off. Few of the Wanneroo players just getting in the way. Oh, and it's just unfortunate, just as the referees called advantage over as well. It was a rapid little advantage there. I don't know how much of a benefit they got from it.
Grattan has just thrown that ball, and it's just been out in front to the left of Ethan Riley, and all he can do is just get his left hand to it and unfortunately not be able to reel it in. So as they play here through Roux, and then look to come back to the left, and we'll see here. Grattan just throws the ball, and it's just, yeah, it's one of those ones. It's probably, you would have probably got a few of those, Pete, in your time, where it's just that uncomfortable position out in front, too far away from you, and you're reaching for it, aren't you?
Yeah, you're thinking you're going to get it and just sort of drifts away from you. I think that's exactly what happened there to Ethan, and it just got away from him there.
Left foot of Forrest doesn't quite get through it as well as he wanted to. He'll say it's exactly where he wanted to go as the ball lands in.
Oh, absolutely. A pinpoint.
Yeah. When things are going well for you, things are going well for you. You could imagine if Kalamunda were having a pretty average day, that ball would have gone out in the fall and probably would have been brought back.
And a quick change here as well with Pamari Black. He's earned his early mark for the evening. He's been pretty busy, and Caleb Toki coming on at halfback, but a little bit unheralded as well, hasn't he, Pamari Black? He's serviced them well, though, so far.
Yeah, done well.
Tilby out to Riley. Good line speed there. Kalamunda, they shut them down behind the line. Looking to come back here. Oh, great line there from Darcy Hinkley as he looks to go through. The ball's just a little bit low. Can't get the offload away. Unfortunately, it's just Tilby just tapping it forward. It was a great little setup, though. They look to play wide, and Silman Atafa, he gets up early, shuts it down, but just catching those Kalamunda forwards just a little bit. Ruck watching here, this short side, a little bit disjointed. Great line there. Just comes loose.
Yeah, Darcy Hinkley running a fantastic line there and spotting the hole that he needed to go into. But Pete, as you said, you know, they're not able to get the continuity to build the pressure.
Yeah, they're just forcing those passes where, you know, somebody needs to just take leadership there and just say, listen, guys, we just need to hang on to it for a little bit longer, and it's just, you know, with that confidence will come. But everyone's trying to force an offload, and it's a 50-50 ball, and things aren't going your way. You know, don't risk it. Let's just keep things simple.
Nice little back row play here. Toki finds himself a little bit of space early, switches it back inside to Duvid Vakula. Wrapped up well on the far side, but Kalamunda back on the front foot. They're all lining up here. They've got a bit of width. You have a turn with the ball. Toki moves it quickly. Forrest spots that little space on the outside, out of the back of the hands to Rawlins, but not quite out the back of the hand far enough, and it's gone forward. Rawlins overrunning that ball just a little bit, but once again, just Wanneroo, they're just affording them this time to play as well, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a little bit of space there for Kalamunda to go into. And, oh, look, you know what? Rawlins was expecting it. He knew it was there.
Yeah.
He ran a beautiful little short line, which he's shown a few times this afternoon that he can do. Just wasn't able to get the grip on the ball well enough.
Just as we're making a couple of changes here as well as they're setting up for the scrum, the jerseys this afternoon as well, Dwayne, both teams rocking their NAIDOC jerseys as well. A lot of work has gone into them. The Kalamunda jersey, a lot of work by artist Kevin Binder as well. There's a lot of effort that's gone into these jerseys with lots of different representation, a lot of great detail. Wanneroo exiting here. Little wrap around for Riley. Riley's got a little bit of space. Finds Grattan. Grattan, he's looking good. He's moving well down that far side. Can't quite catch up, Toki, just a little knock on the far side. So it's starting to open up just a little bit for Wanneroo, but once again, it's just that continuity, isn't it, Peter?
Yeah, it's that last pass again. They didn't need to force it, you know, but man, I love this little wraparound, and Riley pinned his ears back there and got some good speed out wide, and that was just right here towards the end that they just tried to force it. I think it was back inside for Riley, and he just didn't hang on. But yeah, they just need to take that ball to ground, play a safer option.
Yeah, and he looks good. He looks good playing in that little bit of a wider channel as well. He's played a lot of 12 for them as well over the period, the last couple of years, as well as 10. What do you think, Dwayne? I feel like his game's probably a little bit more a natural 12 because he can run the ball so well, and he's a strong ball carrier too, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Ethan, and I know he loves to play 10. He'd prefer to play 10, but yeah, you could definitely see him slotting in at 12 and being your second receiver and second ball player. But he showed that acceleration when he scored his try in the first half, that he'd be valuable just in that little outside channel at 12 there.
Handy having a left boot at 12 as well.
Kalamunda, they look to carry, look to attack early, and it's Rawlins looking at that space. He's got the ball in 2 hands. Oh, they just couldn't. Beautifully blocked there as well. I think it was Bully here on this short side. Did a great job of just chasing back.
He just did enough to get back there and have a go at intercepting that ball on the way back. And because
look where it's come from there.
If this goes to hand, it is a genuine foot race to the try line.
Absolutely, a great bit of confidence there. Now we're blessed. The number 6 on your screen, Cruiser, now onto the field finally, giving the home crowd what they wanted. Secures that safe ball. Here we go, Seminatafa. A little bit disorganised. Forrest skating out. Rawlins again. Finds Duvitavakula. Looks to break 3. He's wrapped up well. Toki comes back, and look at this width that they're getting to play with. Angus Maguire, he gets a carry. They get back to the advantage line. And then it's Black. Oh, and a great little offload there. Cruiser now. He's involved straight away. They step behind the ball this time. No second mistakes. Hook him out with the offload. Straight to Ethan Riley, unfortunately. He beats one. He looks to kick. Moves it. Good clean out there. No one's ready, though. Tilby's had to take the tackle early. It's Dylan Hutchins in a dummy half. In a halfback. Looks to carry. He's going to pick and drive. They're going to pick and drive all the way, maybe, at this rate. Wanneroo looking to keep it tight just while they get Dylan Riley back on his feet. Still just looking, still just peppering through. Another good clean. They're just finding some little soft edges here. They're looking to grind their way back. There it is, Hutchins again with another carry. He's been busy since he came on. Tilby through the hands here. Great little show and go there, and it's a veto as well as he gets down the right-hand side. Beats the fullback, Rawlins, all in his dust, and he dives over, and once again, it's just that little bit of play that they've been able to put together, string some phases together. That continuity we talked for in a veto, he's blown it wide open from nothing.
Yeah, so it's pretty obvious there that if Wanneroo were able to actually maintain some continuity, they would build pressure and things would open up for them. So they've let themselves down in that regard, that errors have let them down early. But PJ Avito, like, that's a really strong run from a back rower. You know, he's probably taken that ball in his own half and made it all the way to the try line. And a little bit of a show and go. Some people might have thought he should have offloaded, but if you go and score the try, obviously you didn't need to.
Yeah, and it was just that awareness as well, isn't it, Pete? Like having these big back rowers running down these wide channels and creating space for themselves. That's a great skill for a team to have.
Yeah, great skills at number 8 to be able to have ball carry like that. I mean, he looked like he was wanting to just offload that ball in the first tackle, but he broke through and just kept on going. But Dwayne, I think he ran it all the way from his own half, so it was a great run down the sideline. But he had support runners around him, so they were able to create a little bit of deception, and he used them well. As you watch Grattan here add the extra 2. And hopefully this gives a bit of confidence to Wanneroo. I mean, they're so capable. I mean, just their forwards are getting some good, easy yards there through the pick and go. So, yeah, hopefully they hang on to the ball a bit longer and can see that they get some good pay from that.
Yeah, look at them. They're all lining up, and Rawlins, he just kind of paid for that, bought that dummy bit. He was trying to cover everyone when the most important man, he's that man with the ball.
Rawlins, he just wasn't able to get a good enough shoulder on Avito, and if you don't do that, he's just going to go straight through that arm. So,
and he's someone that we touched on as well, isn't it, in that pre-game? Someone who could do a lot of damage, and he's been excellent for them so far this year, but just hasn't had the opportunity today, has he?
No, not really. I mean, if we go back to the jerseys you started to mention there earlier, Tess, you know, from the Wanneroo point of view, like, you know, the design, it was all about the community and the pathways to the community, and then the sort of the green of the jersey represents the soil and the land and the waterways that lead to that community of Wanneroo.
Roo takes his second kick-off restart for the afternoon, manages to get that one away. Stopped well there by Rawlins. Simonatafa. He's had to field. That looks like a bit of a doozer that was coming his way, but now Wanneroo, they're hot on attack. Oh, and Black gets over it, earns that penalty, but the knock on from the phase before, as we see Roo. I know a few front rows who, once that ball gets kicked off, there's no interest in them catching the ball, but he's put his hand up for 2 of them. And Rawns there, just silky soccer skills.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
And just a little bit loose there from Toki and Simonatafa. He's going to end up on the highlight reels. Next to his try, it'll be him on his back too. There's just that little bit of a momentum swing, isn't there, Pete? Like, when it's good for Kalamunda, it's going great, but once the wind goes out of those sails and Wanneroo, they've just wrestled back a little bit of momentum. What can they grasp back here now over the next 20 minutes?
Yeah, they've just given them a bit of a sniff. Kalamunda have given Wanneroo a little sniff, haven't they? And they've just, so they got those 7 points and their tails up a bit. They got a bit of momentum. I think 1 or 2 bounces, there's the ball going their way. So yeah, they got to watch out here, Kala, and make sure that they bury Wanneroo now. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon for them because, as you rightly said there, I think Wanneroo are going to be eager for this afternoon now.
And that's the thing, we did say Wanneroo would try and work their way back into the game, and that could be, could come from that try to Oviedo.
I think Kala forwards also starting to get a bit tired.
Here we go, good platform. Riley takes the line on, loves to attack it early. That's Turagava, sorry, there on the far side. He's beaten one. Great. Oh, and he's got the cleaner for just going straight off his feet. So a bit of promising play snuffed out there, unfortunately, as we see again, Riley takes it flat.
Look, and that's the thing, like Wanneroo backs really taking the advantage line and getting go forward from that. There was a good little off-road there from Turagava back inside to Tukaki. But, oh, geez, off your feet, that's just, it's costly just to give Kalamunda the ball back there. Some recognition there to Wanneroo, the designer of their jersey, Jacob Watson. He's done a fantastic job creating that jersey, and the last little bit down the bottom is the kangaroo paw, which is the actual emblem of the Wanneroo club. So it's a fantastic jersey they've got there.
Cruzar now pushes it a little bit big. It's cleaned up there well by Tilby. Oh, and he finds Riley. Riley beats one, he beats 2. They can't catch him, and there it is, a little bit against the play, heavily against the play. And all of a sudden, Wanneroo, Ethan Riley, puts them back a little bit closer as well, Peter Grant.
Oh, I just made that look so easy, didn't it? Just everything fell right there for him, and he finishes things well, doesn't he? I mean, he's a stocky, strong lad when he runs, and yeah, I mean, he barely got a hand on him there, to be honest.
Well, Duva cooler. He pretty much just tapped him on the back as he went through. So, Ethan was going at full pace there, but you'd expect, or you'd want to think that the Kalamunda winger would have made that tackle there. Yeah,
it was a little bit of the old Wallaby touch, 2 hands, wasn't it? Unfortunately there, but we talk about he's taking that at pace, and with the wind at their backs, the wind, it kind of seems to have gone out of the sails of Kalamunda here as well, hasn't it, Dwayne?
And that could be a little bit of fitness potentially. They're sitting well and nice and comfortable with the scoreline. And then just, taking the foot off the pedal a little bit, and Wanneroo working their way back in. As Grattan converts that try. So you look at it now, it's 40 points to 26. Yeah. Starts to get interesting, doesn't it?
Only 2 tries in it, yeah, and it's, nice typical club rugby complacency sneaking in there, I think, and it's still going to be a long afternoon here, and I think a couple of those forwards, just with the expansive game that they play with Kalamunda, just unfortunately does wear on the heavy boys. So we'll have to see, I think, some changes coming up pretty shortly.
Yeah, 20 minutes to go. There's still plenty to play for in this game. As this time, Roo just carries himself. He must be the restart taker, and you can see the change in play. They look to kick it up central. Chase is a little bit lacking here in Forrest. He's got a little bit of space. There's the line. He's met well there by Vito. Gets up, makes a pest of himself for the ruck. A lot of pressure in this wide channel. And here it is, and the ball swung out, and it's come out to Powers. He carries strongly. Big carry there. No one's on the ball, though, as the referee says. But a lot of pressure coming through there from Kalamunda at the ruck. And they just wrestle back the advantage there, and it's Hookamau and it's Black. Two of them working hard just to turn that ruck around. They just sniffed. It was a little bit loose, a little bit complacent here. Hookamau sticks his head in, he wins that ruck. Black straight in behind him like a dog on a bone.
Andre Roux there, just making it really easy for the ref there, because he was never in a position to be able to counter ruck there.
And just Wanneroo looking so good this last 5 or 10 minutes. But now just the opportunity. This could be all Kalamunda need to really ice this game. Cruzar now, he's down there on the mark. Easy ball, hook him out at the front. Look to set up the maul. Bit of pressure coming through there from the Wanneroo players here, but they've got that ball well at the back. And Toki, he looks to clear it. Black, he's looking for that shorter runner. Forrest just gets there a little bit late. Wrapped up well there, though, by Takaki. Swing back down the left side. It's Bully. Sorry, it's Howley. Howley, the try scorer. He beats one. Cuts back in. Semanatafa, he has a little carry there. They're just starting to build, though. Just keeping that ball, keep peppering away. Adams with the ball in hand. What can he create? Not much this time. A quick ball as well. Gives him the opportunity. There's space down the outside. Oh, a bit of a cooler. He's wrapped up really well there, but offloads Rawlins straight into Riley, who upends him too. Tamanu, they're just keeping this ball alive, though. And Tamanu gets rid of one. The crowd, they love that. Ball's in behind here. They've got the second chance here. Now with a little play, holds the ball up. Howley just couldn't quite spin through. I think it's Arnau again. Here it is. They're getting inching ever closer here. Oh, and unfortunately, I think it's Tuivi. He's just coughed it up just as they were getting close to the line. But it was starting to look ominous there, wasn't it, Dwayne?
Oh, I think, I think Kalamunda, they might have had a little bit of a chat to themselves after Ethan Riley's last try and said, no, we've got to switch back on here, boys. We've got to go back to playing the way we want to play. And they did. They spread it to the width, came back. They were looking for those offloads. And that's a good one from Rawlins there. He's being bundled backwards, but it's Manu there. He's just bumping off players as he's going forward and working his way across the field. And then they've made it to the edge again. Played some good enterprising rugby here. They picked the ball up with Cruz Arnu. They want to keep playing quickly. Mars over the ball and makes it available to Hookamau, I think it was. And then Tuiavi just loses control of the ball.
Just stood up, just tried to wrestle his way through. But it's a great advertising for just everyone has to be keyed in every play, doesn't it? Isn't it, Peter? Like, that play went from one side to the other without even a ruck in between.
Yeah, some great skills there from the Kalamunda forwards, and amongst all of that, they get some good passing and handling there. But credit to the Wanneroo defence. I think they held them out there nicely. Some good hits on the end, and yeah, they've managed to keep them out.
Oh, big pressure coming through this scrum from Kalamunda. Yeah, and they've caught. I think the call's going to be, unfortunately, on PJ Vito at number 8, just reaching through to get that ball out. You could see it going forwards pretty rapidly, or you could see scrum going backwards over the top of the ball pretty quickly.
Ryan Black is desperate to get his hands on this ball, and I think it was Tilby in the end who just wouldn't give it up.
Ryan Black, he doesn't want to pack another scrum here. He wants to take the quick tap.
It's definitely the quick tap happening. Quick tap play. They've been practicing all week, but I see Toki's coming forward. He's going to initiate it.
Yeah, and they've sent Maguire, Tuivi. They've gone straight to the centre of the field with the rest of their forwards as well. Here we go. Big carry there from Maguire. Gets them on the front foot, coming around the corner. It's on now. Is he going to get there? He's got to be close. Hands are up.
The crowd were wishing him on.
Held up there, and it's Dylan Hutchins as well. He's done a good job just to get under there, I think. Or maybe not Dylan. I think it might have been Cade Begg getting underneath him. Great effort, though. Great little play there from Kalamunda. There's a dropout's taken here from Wanneroo. Rawlins gives it off to Davidakula. They look to set up and go again, this Kalamunda machine. Tuivii wrapped up. Big tackle there in the middle of the field. They come down the short side. Now ball's in two hands, carrying well. Coming back, little pass there. Just finds Maguire off the hip. Ball's gone behind there, and it's Totoko as well. Panera Totoko. He's come on the field just recently, and unfortunately, I think it's his first touch. Puts the ball down. He wants to get involved. Who can blame him?
Yeah, won't go in the scrapbook, that one.
I'm just trying to get who's come off the field for the Kalamunda team for him to go on. Looks like I think it's Benjamin Smith here.
I can penalise him for it. I can't stop him doing it.
Cruz are now getting in the referee's ear already. Instant impact at his first scrum when he came on.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Here we go, Avita. He goes off the back. He's got a little bit of space here as well. He finds Riley. Riley sees the space. He wants to go. Sticks it under one arm as he wants to. Just as he looks to offload back inside. I knew where Grattan was. Now, here we go. The ball's back in the other hand to Manu on the far side. He's looking to take a carry with Dudavitakula. Beats one. Still going. Beats two, three. Looking to wrestle his way through. Look to play with space here as well. Sumanatafa moves it wide. Here it is. Back in Anau's hand. He adds some speed to the ball as well. Little one inside Howley. I think it's just come off.
But he said it's knocked on. They're going to bring it back.
Yeah, I think it was Regan Howley's hands. Just got the tip onto it before Gershon Adams picked up the ball, but it was end-to-end stuff here as we see. Duvakula beats about three of them, and they're on the 5 metre side, 5 metre line on the far side. Got their back rowers playing through, front rowers adding speed to the ball. Little one there, and he's called that one forward off Howley.
You could see what Cruzanu was trying to do there. He was just trying to bring that defender across and open up that space on the inside and just bring Howley on his inside on a switch. But Howley was just a little late on the running line, and it sort of put the pass in the wrong position.
Yeah, Cruz, he's out here playing chess while Howley was playing checkers, unfortunately. Just moving them around the board. Here we go, another chance. They look to go wide here. A little bit of a juggle, but they get the offload away. Big offload in space. Bully manages to hold on to it though as well. Black. He managed to wire his way through. He was like Keanu Reeves in the Matrix there as they're trying to clean him out. They couldn't get their hands on him, but he was called out. He just couldn't help himself. But enterprising play here from Wanneroo as well, really looking to attack.
Ryan Black is just a menace at the breakdown. He's sticking his head in every single one he can get to, which is just about every single one. And he's making life difficult there for the Wanneroo boys. And he just unfortunately didn't get that one right. He was just trying a bit too hard. But some weary bodies there now. And Wanneroo just starting to run out a bit of time. There's still time on the clock. They've still got 10 minutes, but they're going to want to make this count for them now. They're deep into the Kalamunda half.
Yeah, 2 quick tries and it all turns around very quickly, doesn't it? Here we go. We've got Avito. He's only up there as the dummy runner. They play behind him and they got Turagava. Turagava finds a bit of space. Beats one, switches it off to Bully. Bully fires it back inside. It's been intercepted there. I think that's by Tamanu. He's ended up with the ball.
And a penalty to Wanneroo.
It's gone Wanneroo's way. Wanneroo play, looking to go quickly. Just a little bit off the mark there. The captain, Jordan Grattan, he gets over the top of the ball. And here we are. Doesn't want to have that quick tap. Doesn't say we're not playing how Kala play. A great little bit of play here from Wanneroo as well.
And a fantastic opportunity here is created. They turned the ball over with that pass back on the inside, but then were able to get on ball and get the penalty. So it allows them to have a line out here, and be surprised if they weren't going to maul this test, just like in the first half.
Just as we talk, there's a bit of hullabaloo going down because Wanneroo are taking too much time. I don't want to give it up just like the Bledisloe game last year. Get on, start playing, boys. You've been told now. Dylan Hutchins gets the ball in the hand. The ball's up.
Oh, it just opens wounds when you mentioned that Bledisloe game there, Heath.
And there this time, the Kalamunda team. Everyone gets the memo for the Kalamunda team this time. They all stay off. And they get the truck and trailer there. Well played. All the hands are in the air. And Wanneroo, the boys up front, they just didn't talk back to the man with the ball there with Karangaroa having his hands on the ball. His head was buried in there and he just couldn't hear. Just releases that pressure valve. As Forrest gets it out securely. What can we expect from Kalamunda here, Dwayne?
Well, Ryan Black wanted to take a quick tap there on that penalty and was brought back to the mark. So,
of course he did. Of course he did.
It will be all hands on deck. They'll be running and they'll be playing and they'll be passing.
Oh, beautiful little ball out the back there from Adams. Bounce pass there. Oh, seeing a little bit loose.
And probably something they don't practice a great deal of at training would be exiting easily, Kalamunda. So that's probably why it didn't work out so well.
Yeah, I don't think they practice that at training at all, Dwayne. I think you're right. I think it's very clear the way they want to play, and yeah, this would be it. Just using the space. I think even Rawlins there kicking a ball, they weren't too sure that was going to happen, but yeah, it's come off the side of his foot, unfortunately. So another chance here for Wanneroo.
Little trick play down the front. Finds Sear. Sear gets wrapped up well. Looking to just bundle their way through the middle here. The Roo Dogs. Looking to play tight. Inch by inch, just going back to this big pack mentality they've got. Andre Roo. Great little tip on there from Tilby. Just changes the point of attack. Black sniffing round.
And a second advantage to Wanneroo.
So they're building pressure here. Riley looks to pick that ball up there. It's Turagava. He's found a bit of space for Grattan. Oh, and unfortunately it's Bully. Bully's put the ball down with the line open there. Just a loose pass. You can see the Kalamunda players, they just all stop for a second. All of a sudden it's on down here on this short side, and Bully unfortunately just drops it with the line open. Coming back here, Avito, he's looking to take the quick tap. The only man on the field who's going to outrule him, Grattan, picks the ball up. He wants to punch it into the corner. I don't think they'll be looking to get the ball too wide off this play, will they?
No, I'm betting my right arm this is a driving maul, but they'll be a little bit clever in terms of how they release it. It'll stay with the jumper a little bit longer.
Well, that was going to be my next question, Peter. What do you think Kalamunda are going to do here as well? They're going to hit it hard, or are they just going to let it sit?
I was going to say hit it hard, but they competed there, so yeah, it's going to be
a lot of shoulders on backs.
The height there, I think, is the problem, but things are starting to go now for Wanneroo.
Yeah, they managed to find a little edge here, keeping it tight. They want to take them on. They've got that big pack mentality. Ball's in the hand of Dylan Hutchins, and yeah, I think it's little Pumba himself, Hutchins. He's screamed over on that far side. And how important is this kick coming up for Jordan Grattan? Score going 40-31. 5 minutes left to play.
Yeah, he'll definitely want to take his time here and just make sure he gets this one through, because then it's game on. Just saves him having to try and score twice from now on. But
Really good pace, sorry Pete, really good patience there from Dylan Hutchins, wasn't it? Because a lot of forwards at the back of the maul there, when it starts to get a little bit unstable like that, they'll peel off and they'll go themselves. Whereas he was maintained his patience and got the pay for it.
Yeah, he's an experienced player, isn't he? Dylan Hutchins, for a young man, and you could see with the camera, he had that sniff up the right side, but he just stayed behind his pack. It's Grattan, unfortunately. Fails to add the extras.
He really stabbed at that, Pete.
He hit that one pretty low, didn't he? I was worried it wasn't going to go with the crossbar, but it got the right height, but it was a low trajectory. Got a lot of it, but just unfortunately not accurate enough. So, yeah, Wanneroo need to score twice here now to get ahead of the Kalamunda.
And just
Bulls.
over 3 minutes left on the Glen clock here. It was still the referee's time. Plenty of time for this game to add another twist and turn. Taken well on the far side and wrapped up as well. Here they go. They're going to look to play here. That's Takaki. Straightens it up. Oh, beats one. Great offload there as well. Oh, but it's swooped on by Adams. Adams, he's got the arms free. Holds onto the ball. What are Kalamunda going to do here as well? Do they look to ice it? Do they look to score more points? I think we know the answer to that question is Allsop. Bangs his way, sorry, it's Totoko. Bangs his way through one. A little bit of space here for Rawlins. Looks to shape, goes back inside. Oh, and it's been nearly intercepted there by Bully, but the ball's gone down. A knock on there by Bully. Kalamunda scrum with just over 2 minutes left on the clock.
Kalamunda won't be too worried about that because it'll wind down the clock that little bit more, and Wanneroo are certainly not in the area of the park where they want to be playing. But a little bit of frantic rugby here at the end.
Just at the end.
Yeah, sorry, Des.
It's been frantic for a lot of that so far this afternoon. And I wonder if a little bit has to do with Kalamunda getting out to such a big lead early. Maybe they're just a little bit of inexperience, not knowing how. They just tried to ice it a little bit too early. As they look to carry it on at Seminatafa. Looks to move it a little bit wider there. And Kalamunda, they're still hard on the attack. They want more points.
I'm expecting another pick and go here from Ryan Black in the middle there.
Yeah, he goes sniffing for it.
He's positioning himself just out the back. He's letting the big boys go for the work.
And
there it is. And it's Hanare Hukamau as well. He's been absolutely brilliant for them so far this afternoon, barging his way over there. Just as the clock, we're in the 80th minute here, but it all started, so much pace there for Seminatafa off the back, and it just gives the players, gives them the opportunity to get around the corner, puts that Wanneroo defence on the back foot straight away, and the tempo there, you see now he moves it quickly, and then they're all supporting. I mean, the support we spoke about earlier, when they're out and opening space, but then the support that they get around the ball as well, like they just help each other through so brilliantly. And Wanneroo, they did such a great job of keeping them out for 1-2 phases, but there it was. Hanare Hukamau, what should be the last try for this afternoon as he ices this game.
Yeah, that was definitely the nail in the coffin for Wanneroo. But, credit to them. They worked themselves back into the game. And they're too little, too late there with Kalamunda finishing it off. And that's great work there by Turagava. He's actually charged that ball down. So the game is pretty much over for Wanneroo, but still the effort there to charge that kick.
And still time on the clock, as we said before, in the referee's hands. Grattan, he's ready to kick off straight away before Mars even back. And it's that man as well, Turagava, the man that made the charge down. Here we are. Seminatafa, he wants now. Well met there by Takaki. Great hit by the 12. Kalamunda, they only know one way to play though. They offloaded Seminatafa. Oh, a little quick pass out the back. Beautiful stuff there from Tamanu. And there's still plenty of rugby in this. Yeah, infringing there, Wanneroo. Adams again. Looking to play wide here. They've got a bit of space. Maher offloads beautifully to Rawlins. Rawlins, will he get that ball outside to David Vakula? Doesn't need to. He comes in underneath. Great little pop off the deck, and Black slides down the right side. Rawlins drops it on the toe. Wants a big part of that, and he's taken that back as well. Jordan Grattan taken into touch as the referee blows full time here at Hartfield Park, down here at the bullpen. And it's a great win from Kalamunda, getting up 45 points over Wanneroo to 31. And Dwayne Nestor, that was just an absolutely brilliant afternoon of rugby union, wasn't it?
Oh, look, you know, at times there were mistakes, and there were mistakes that probably shouldn't have been made. But talk about entertaining rugby. You know, Kalamunda showed in that first half they'd done enough there in terms of entertaining to in the end, what you would say, secure the game. But Wanneroo worked back into the game really well. They got to within striking distance. But you'd probably say that last little bit of play by Kalamunda was probably a pretty good representation of the game. They were willing to throw the ball around, to test their hand, take the risk they needed to take, and the confidence was there to do that, and it paid off in the end for them.
Yeah, and it's that willingness and confidence that they had, isn't it, that just really helped them get to that big lead in that first half.
Yeah, definitely. They did the work in the first half, and you know you've got Gershom Adams, who was outstanding, and he played really well in attack. But a guy who was also really instrumental in that first half for Kalamunda was Ryan Black, and we've got Pete Grant with Ryan now.
Yeah, we're here this after a great win of Kalamunda. Ryan, great game for you guys this afternoon?
Yeah, no, the first half was how we wanted to play, and then that second half we sort of just went away from our game plan and started kicking the ball too much and just silly errors. Back at the end there, the last try that we sort of got back to our work, which was good, but lots to work on from that second half.
And part of the game plan there, getting Gershon Adams with the ball in hand, a pretty skillful player there, get the backs to run off him, eh?
Oh, absolutely. Like, when you've got a guy like him in the team that can run and draw so many defenders, why wouldn't you use him? So, yeah, it's great. He played a great game out there for us.
Wanneroo definitely came back in that second half, made you guys worried for a second, but you just stuck to your guns, quick taps.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we were worried. We just went away from what was working for us in the first half, and took us pretty much the whole half to get back into how we wanted to play. So we got the win, which was the important thing, but yeah, could have been a bit more points on the board than that.
No, absolutely. Well played today, and you had, the crowd was out here and they're supporting you, and yeah, very happy with the win there. Well done. Congrats.
No, I appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant for them all afternoon, Ryan Black, and like you touched on, just being able to have that ability to have a 10 that can guide the ball around, keep the ball moving, and then play hard and play tough in the front of the line as well. It's invaluable to have, isn't it, Dwayne?
Yeah, definitely. He's a very valuable member of this team. Like he passes well, as we said. He's played a lot of 9, so if he needs to go into the back of a ruck to do a good clearing pass, he can do so. He moves the team around the field quite well. But, you know, that's the thing. Kalamunda don't really need to be directed in terms of what they need to do. They just know that they need to spread, they need to get some long passes from side to side, and they needed to test the defence on those edges, and they do it really well when it's sort of going well for them.
Yeah, and great vision here as we see both teams getting together in celebration of NAIDOC round as well at the end of the game, and that just about wrapped things up here at the bullpen with Kalamunda defeating Wanneroo 45 points to 31. And once again, we'd like to say a huge thanks to Fortescue and to all of our partners for making this broadcast possible. My name's Heath Testman on behalf of Dwayne, Peter and all the crew. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, we make our way to Pat O'Hara Reserve, the home of the mighty Perth Bayswater Numbats, as they take on Associates. As usual, we'll be bringing you all the action here on Stan Sports, your home of rugby. We look forward to seeing you then.